In the last few videos, we built a 24-volt power station for the Tacoma's new camper. Then, we mounted a pair of flexible solar panels to the roof of the camper. Today, we're going to be wiring those solar panels up in series, and then we're going to connect it to the power station for the first time. Now that we have the solar panels mounted, it's time to connect all the wiring. We're going to wire these in series, which means we're going to connect the positive of one solar panel to the negative of the other, and then the negative from one solar panel and the positive of the other, which are remaining, down into the solar charge controller. When you wire in series, you're increasing the voltage, which is what we want. We're running a 24-volt system. I am going to need to build a little extension to reach these MC4 connectors that were mounted on the roof by Overland campers. Before we do that, I wanted to point one thing out which is important to test before you start wiring, to make sure that you're wiring in the correct polarity. I'm going to bring you in a little closer in a minute. But these connections, these MC4 connections, sometimes you'll see a positive on one and a negative on the other. And you really need to confirm that that's the case before you start wiring. Looking at the MC4 connections that Overland campers installed, you're going to see that there's a negative here on this one, which is the female. Now you would think, okay, this is the negative, this is the positive, but you can see I marked. This is actually a positive, and this is the negative. Now how can you tell? They wired these down into the camper, and then they label them. But how can you tell this is a positive or a negative? We're going to test the wires out using a multimeter, just to confirm positive and negative. You don't want to make the mistake of wiring incorrectly. So we're going to take our multimeter and we're going to put it to the continuity part. And that is located by these symbols here. Sometimes they're separate and sometimes these are together. Hopefully that shows. And now, not all multimeters do this, but if you take the connections and you connect them together, you'll get a beep. That lets me know there's continuity between these two cables. Which means if I took a wire and I connected it to one side, and then I took the other side of the wire and I connected this, I would hear a beep. Let me show you an example. I'm going to take this wire and I'm going to make sure there's no breaks in it. And you can see there doesn't appear to be any breaks, but sometimes there's something going on in the insulation that you don't see. So I've already connected the black probe to one side. Now when I connect the red probe to the other side, I should hear a beep. That lets me know that this wire is a solid wire and there's no breaks in it. Now how can we take that information and apply it to finding out the negative and positive side of the MC4 connectors? I'm going to pull the wiring up from inside the camper and bring it up here. This is the furthest I can go, but I already put the wiring that was pre-wired and I made an Anderson connector. And you can see that one side is positive, one side is negative, according to the colors at least. So what I want to confirm is the one that I marked positive up here connects to the red, and the one that I marked negative over here connects to the black. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one probe, I'm going to put it inside my marked positive, and now when I touch the black probe, the other probe, to this red inside, I should hear a beep. And that'll tell me that this indeed is the positive. And there's my beep. Now if I connect it to the negative, I should get no sound. If I take the probe and put it into the one I marked negative and touch the other side of the probe to the black cable right here, I should get a beep. Good. Now I'm confirmed where my positive and negatives are. So indeed the red and the black are positive and negative. If I touch the black to the other side, nothing. Black side negative? Yes. So my positive and negative are marked correctly. Now I'm going to take the positive side of one solar panel, which is on my left side, and then my right side is the other solar panel. So if we're going to wire it in series, we want to connect the positive of one side to the negative of the other. So I'm in the shade, I'm in the garage. If you are working outside, I would make sure that the solar panels are covered. You don't want power running through. So positive and negative, you hear the click. Now I have one positive on the right side, I have one negative on this side. Now my positive will reach into my positive here. So let me go ahead and connect that. my negative is not going to reach, so I have to build a short extension. I've already pre-cut the correct size. I can fit this into here, but I do need to make a connection to go into my male end. So I need a female. Now these come as a kit, and there's in multiple kits out there. A lot of people are using the BougeRV kit. I actually have that one as well. It seems to be a pretty complete kit. It's a decent quality. It's not super high quality, but it works. Inside this connection, you have your rubber compression sealing sleeve, and you have your threaded connection. We're going to take this piece first. We're going to slide it over. We're going to take our compression. We're going to slide it over, just so it's sitting in here. We have about 1/4 of an inch, or maybe just over 1/4 of an inch, that is stripped already. Now we're going to take one of the metal connections, and I'm going to crimp it onto the wire. Now you have to be careful with this. This seems counterintuitive, but we have a female connection, but we have a male insert. How do I know it's male? So it comes with 2 different ones, and they look similar, but if you look down, this one here is quite a bit bigger. That's the female, smaller one's the male, so the male fits into the female. So going into the female connector goes the male fitting. So this will be crimped onto the wire. Now let me show you how to do this. This crimper comes with the kit too. It has 3 different sizes. We're going to use the largest size here. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this connection in from the back. And this little round spot on the bottom, the curved spot, is going to lay right inside this little curved area in the crimper, right there. So let me see if I can change the angle a little bit. So I'm going to take this from the back. I'm going to put it in the largest one. You can see it there. The curved part is laying on the bottom. Take the wire, I'm going to insert it, and then when it's crimped down. These are ratcheting crimpers. Nice crimp on. Do your tug test. But I can see that's a solid crimp. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the female, we're going to slide it in, and then it should click into place. I just messed up. Because I'm going to leave, I just messed up, and I'm not going to edit this out. I just connected the female instead of the male. So I need to take this off and redo it. I make mistakes also. It was a good crimp though. I was wondering why it wouldn't click into here. Now we should hear it click. Hopefully we can hear over the landscapers. Maybe not. There it goes. Always give the tug test too. Now the compression fitting is going to fit in the end. There are little teeth on it that kind of mesh in there, and then this piece will come up. The kit also comes with 2 wrenches, which I am going to use. So let's just slip it into the wire here, pull it up. This piece fits over the female side. I'm going to turn. And then we know it's nice and tight. The negative side here. And here's my other side, and that's going to connect to the negative side right here. We are now wired up in series. So quick review, positive side of this solar coming into the positive side here. negative side of this solar coming into the negative side here. And then we take the negative side connecting to the positive side on the solar panels. So you see the plus and the minus. These two solar panels are now wired in series. We're all connected here. I will button this up as soon as we connect it to the solar power station inside. All right, guys, solar is all connected up top. I secured all the wires, and now, if you watch my previous videos, this is the power station that we built. So we're gonna be connecting the power station to the solar for the first time. And this is the way I did it. If you wanna take a look over here, so there's an Anderson plug right here, and this is good for 50 amps. I label everything on the side so we know the ratings. And if you take a look inside, so this is the Anderson plug that's on the outside, and I have the positive negative going into a disconnect, and then that's going into the charge controller here. So what I'm going to do is, this is off. I'm going to connect the Anderson plug right now. So there's a protective cover on, and I can see positive and negative, and I know the positives and the negatives. So this is the right orientation. It only fits one way as well. So we're connected to solar. The wire's coming down into the camper. These are going to end up going all the way in the camper. Now I'm turning the disconnect on. Once I power it on, or once I flip it on, it should have the solar come through and power the charge controller. So we'll see. I'm not sure what that's going to say. We'll keep an eye. All right, so the solar panel just popped up here. That lit too. The solar panel showed up. It showed that as an arrow showing that there's solar PV going into the battery, charging the battery, and then I have the battery and the solar panel lit here. So I'm going to pull the app up real fast. All right, so hopefully this shows, but the battery's at 26.3 volts, and it looks like we have 131 watts coming in. We have 200 watts of solar panel, but we're just before noon. It's hazy skies, so 134 watts in, 5.12 amps, and voltage says 34.8. I think that's the voltage of the solar panels that are wired in series, so 33.5. We need a higher than 24 volt to charge a 24 volt battery. So the voltage is good, that's why we wired in series. 135 watts going in right now, 5.1 amps, 5.14 amps. So this power station we designed as a bench. We're going to end up pushing this whole thing forward into the camper, and it's going to be a bench up in the front here. Everything, all the wiring will run against the wall and then connect to the side, if you saw my previous videos, to the side of the power station. And then on the front panel, we have our 12 volt system. So it goes 24 volt battery into a step down, 24 to 12 volt, into a 12 volt fuse box, a Blue Sea fuse box, which is connected right here. And then we can control our fan, which is, let's see, that's the max air fan that's right here. So just by pressing this button, that'll control the fan once we connect it, and that'll actually connect in right here. It says with an SAE connector. So that's for the fan. And then we have a fan for inside the box. This one's right here. When we flip that on, the two fans come on here, and they're actually drawing air out. And then the opposite side of the bench are the two intakes. So we're pulling air through all the components and then out the other side. This will be a light for inside the box if we need to work on it. And these are the cabin lights, which we are going to install, which will be the camper lights that'll be inside, all around here, and then up. And this is for the inverter. I just turned the inverter on and off. Just a quick look inside here. I'm using a lead time 24 volt battery, lead time bus bars, the MPPT solar charge controllers from lead time as well. And we can also charge this guy on this 29 volt, 20 amp shore power charge, which is plugged in right here. So we can actually plug this in when we're not using the camper at home, and it can charge the battery as well if we don't have solar or if it's in the garage. All right, guys, that's going to wrap this one up. I really appreciate you sticking around. Hopefully, this helped you out or at least kept things interesting. If it did, please drop a comment and hit the subscribe button. It really does help the channel grow, and I appreciate your support. And stay tuned because I just picked up another Toyota for the next Overland build. And trust me, it's probably not the platform you were expecting. Don't forget, life begins where the pavement ends, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.